get some wins on the board.
Yeah, good to be here, Scott. So, two teams sitting at 3-3, both fighting for some playoff time for later on. So, should be a good, tight game. Lancers coming off a big 46-21 win, which was their season high score. So, hopefully they can maintain that offensive output, and they'll have a good game today.
Thank you to all of our veterans here this evening.
Right now on the field, there's honoring family veteran members of football players on the team.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise and remove your caps in honor of America for the playing of our national anthem by the world-renowned Londonderry Lancer High School Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Serge Bolio.
And as we honor the veterans tonight, I'd like to thank my partner here, Chris, for his service in the Army. So thank you very much, Chris, for your
Thank you very
service here
much
to our great nation.
Yep.
Great to see this showing out there by Lancer Nation. Something they put together every year. It changes from time to time what it looks like, but they're always here honoring the veterans at one of their home games. So, as we said at the start here, both teams are coming off of a win and looking to build on that. Both teams are 2-3 in Division I. The out-of-state games don't count towards their win total or toward their point total. If you were to look at the standings online, you get 10 points for a win, and then it gets even more complicated. You get a additional 2 points for every win your opponent has gotten that you defeated. So, for example, tonight both teams have 2 wins, so whoever wins this game would get 10 plus the 4 to add to their point total, and that's how they end up with 13 playoff teams at the end of the year. And if there's any tiebreakers, it goes head-to-head, and then about 1,000 other things you'd have to look out as well. So a big night right now as both teams sit in that 13th position for playoffs, something they are unfamiliar with, as Salem has been an annual threat in D1, and the Lancers haven't been to the playoffs a number of years in a row, and the championship game 4 straight years. To see both teams with 3 losses and, coincidentally enough, 3 straight losses for both teams is how they both earned them on 3-game losing streaks. Teams that only had 2 losses last year, Chris, this is surprising to see them come out here with this type of record and what they've faced for adversity, both teams.
Yeah, no doubt. Both of them are in a little different position than they're used to being in, and a lot of that's just overcoming adversity because they are young teams. You know, you've got the quarterback on the Salem side who's a sophomore, right? So I know the Lancer defense will be trying to get into his head and get them to make some mistakes, because that's what you tend to do as a younger member of the team. So that'll be a big focus of the defensive game plan, I'm sure.
Yeah, much like last week, we talked about the young Lancer team developing and showing some growth through the season, and with that out-of-state game in Massachusetts and Central coming in, having a young team, and they showed some bright spots as well. And then a nice write-up in the Union Leader about both teams and quarterbacks and how they're developing. Salem might be in that same boat as far as the quarterback play goes, a young quarterback, but Salem always been known as a tough running team. Been able to run the ball for a number of years now, and I'm sure it's something we'll have to look for as the game goes forward. So the Lancers did win the toss and deferred. Salem will receive, and the Lancers will come out and have the opening kickoff. Last week, Salem got off on the wrong foot there. They started with the kickoff and had a kick return on them at the opening kickoff, and about 3 minutes into the game, they were down 14-0. But if anything shows you a team in growth, they came back. They won that game 21-14. So they had a lot happen in 3 minutes that could have had a team spiral, Chris. And they just stuck to the game plan and just gave it to Cumberland and walked away with a win last week.
Yeah, of course. And then being down 14 points after 3 minutes in the game is a pretty rough start. But it does show you how resilient they are. They were able to just slowly and methodically pull themselves back into the game and score the winning touchdown in the fourth quarter. So hats off to them. They're going to be a tough game for the Lancers, I think, today. Big power running game. So I think one of the keys is stuffing those gaps and making them earn every yard.
Number 41, Chase Von Pischel, out to kick for the Lancers. Been known to have a big leg. And back deep for Salem is, I believe, number 7, David Chandler Jr. And alongside him, number 1, Colin Salkovitz. And the ball's handled by Salem. At the 35-yard line, bounces off a player's chest. He falls right on it. And that's where the Blue Devils will start their first drive on their own 35-yard line.
All right, and that's what you're looking for when you do that type of squib kick. You're looking for a bad hop, bounce off of a shoulder. They got it to hop up, hit him in the chest, and fall to the ground. At that point, it's any person's ball. So, but no return whatsoever. So it kind of lowers the risk.
Salem's first play is a running play. Not much to gain on that one. Ball run by number 1, Colin Salkovitz.
Yeah,
gain of a yard there.
Yeah, we figured to see a lot of that, I think, today, hopefully, for the Lancer side. But they're known as Salem's known as a big run team, and they're going to go as far as that'll take them.
Handoff this time, and met in the backfield is 0, Jordan Zanini. Back there for the Lancers, Davis McGarian. Big name here in Lancer Nation this year on both sides of the ball.
Both sides of the ball, absolutely. Catching a lot of touchdowns from Sully.
So as the Lancers would want to have it here on this opening drive, a 3rd and long for the Salem Blue Devils. Their quarterback, Van Mason, a sophomore, is under center. Takes the snap and drops back, looking for a guy. Ball looks like it might get hit on the line, and it drops incomplete. And just like that, the Lancers make quick work of this opening drive with the Salem Blue Devils, having them go 3 and out, and the punting team comes on.
Yeah, it's about as good a start as you could hope for. Everything kind of went their way. They had the 2 run plays called, and the pass play on 3rd down fell nowhere near any of their receivers. So good start by the Lancer defense.
Ryan Bryant on to punt for the Blue Devils, under a little bit of pressure, but gets a great punt away. Oh, the ball's fumbled on the attempted pickup by the Lancers. That is 25 back there. Thomas Zaira.
Yeah,
ball just kind of caught him up a little bit, hit him, but he had the wherewithal to find it. Right
bounced about a foot from his shins, and it's one of those, like, you either get under there and you catch it or you get away from it, right? Last thing you want to do is stay there and have it bounce off one of your body parts, and then at that point it's anybody's ball. So lucky to find it on the ground there.
We saw a fair amount of that in their first 2 home games from the Lancers. A little bit of kicking return woes. They seem to get their fixed over the last couple weeks. Thrown in at quarterback with Cruz. The pitch goes to Cruz. He's looking for an opening to the right. He's found one. He's across midfield. He makes another guy almost miss And Cruz with his first run of the game gets the Lancers 20, 25 yards and across midfield. That's Cruz to the right, first play of the game.
That's right, it was well blocked by the offensive line. I don't think anybody even touched him until he was tackled 25 yards later.
Credit to Jack Marconi of the Blue Devils. That would have been a touchdown. He had the right angle there and drove Cruz out of bounds, or he would have been to the house.
No doubt, good start so far for the Lancers.
Lancers with a 1st and 10 on the Blue Devil 45-yard line. Drone looking to pass this time. Short dump off to McGarian, picks up a few yards.
Yeah, they were trying to get the offense to bite and come after Sully, but they didn't do that. They just kind of hung around. Somebody saw something. So as soon as Davis caught the ball, they were sitting right on him. He was able to power through and get a couple yards.
Yeah, we've seen some success from the Lancers with those plays earlier in the year, whether it's that little screen right in front there or off to the side, like you said. He gets off his blocker and looks for the pass. But
yeah, it's a pass, but it's a very low risk pass, and that's why they do it.
2nd down and 8. Hand off to Cruz. He's looking for more space, and he finds some. He crosses the 40-yard line, gets down to about the 37-yard line. Short of the 1st down, but bringing up a 3rd down and short for the Lancers.
Yeah, looks like about a short 2.
Brings up 3rd down and 2 for the Lancers.
Yeah, one of the things the Lancers did well in their last game is they had a good mix between the pass and the run. And again, a lot of those passes were the short dump-offs, but they would then all of a sudden back up and throw it and hit Jackson Rayo for a couple long passing plays. So they hit him short, but then they also kind of lull him in and try to go over their heads.
Rayo, the beneficiary of a 40-yard touchdown reception last week. Short pitch to Cruz. He's looking for some space to the right. Found some defenders. Tried to cut back. Didn't make much. Might have even lost half a yard to a yard. And now the Lancers are in that, I think you would say 4-down area here.
Yeah, I don't really think they're going to punt. We'll see. But looks like they got all their heads together to figure out what they want to do. Especially after you saw how that first series went, then that gives you a little more confidence to come out here in case this doesn't work. Defense is going to come out and take care of business.
Drone has 3 wide, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. And Cruz behind him. Cruz takes it up the middle, off to the right to the side there, makes a man miss across the 30. Before he's met by a Salem defender, and that's good for a Lancer 1st down.
Right, was able to break a couple tackles there and find his way for an easy 1st down.
Cruz, a very shifty runner, hard to take down. He usually gets that first guy to miss, so if there's not a gang of tacklers there, he's good for a few positive yards every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lancers 2 1st downs here on this opening drive. Now have the ball inside the 30, the 28-yard line. 1st down and 10. Daron back to pass. No pressure. Has a man coming across. That's Jackson Rayo coming back almost on a short crossing route. Interesting play right there.
Yeah, Coach Lozon was trying to get a little sneaky there and get everybody suckered into the right side and come around the left. And I think he ran about 40 yards to lose 1.
Rayo, a speedster. I think they were hoping that once he got across that left side, there'd be some green space for him. But Salem, again, like you said before, they didn't put the pressure on Daron. Something they knew right there to stay back, stay in their zone, stay in their coverage, and that helped them. So it'll be a 2nd down and 13 for the Lancers.
Yeah, and that's something to watch out. Like both times he's dropped back, there's been no one coming after him. So that might give him some time to throw the ball deep down later in the game.
Handoff is to Cruz. Again, he finds a big hole And he makes it up close to the 25-yard line. Looks like Jordan Zanini on that tackle. And Cruz helps the Lancers get some positive yards, but a 3rd down and long with 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Lancers on their opening drive, having stopped the Blue Devils on a 3-and-out.
Yeah, it was the first real challenging field position play, so let's see what they have in store.
Jerome back to pass. He's looking. He has a man. Doesn't see him. Pump fake, pump fake. Now he's going to run. Jerome's trying to make it. Shakes a man. And the ball comes out as he was trying to make the 1st down marker. It depends on the mark.
Yeah, couldn't tell if the ball came out. Oh, it certainly did.
He might have been out of bounds first. Depends on the mark there. That's pretty close. Within a yard, according to the.
Yeah. And that's going to put them right back in going forward on 4th down position. So good scramble. He had 5-6 seconds back there to try and find someone, so it must have been some good coverage on the backside.
Looked like a short window. McGarrion was open there, but there was a little bit of pressure that time, so it's not always easy to see that as it is from this point of view. So the Lancers with a 4th and 1. Fakes the pitch. Jerome takes it himself to the left side, but he is met by a Salem defender and drops him for a loss. That is number 55, James Nelson, who puts the stop on this Lancer drive, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Salem will take over.
There was a loss of one on the play, results in a turnover.
Yeah, they were making good progress on each play and staying ahead of the chains, and that play to try to get Jackson Rayo around the side, losing 3 yards, kind of started to put them behind the chains, and it was tough to recover from that.
Anytime you get those negative yards, especially on 1st down, it can kind of change your approach. And if there was a timeout called, or there was, just timeout called by the Blue Devils.
Timeout Salem. That's their first.
They might have only had 10 players on the field. Not sure. Mason had tried to put someone in motion, then all of a sudden the whistles were blowing, so it looked like a procedure, but it was not. They called a timeout, so with 5:15 to go.
Yeah, and that was one of the points of emphasis as I talked to some of the players today, was around communication. I was really making sure everybody knew what they were supposed to do, everybody was ready for the play. When they were switching out between offense and defense, everybody was ready to come out, so a lot of emphasis placed on just communicating and making sure everybody's set and ready to go for each play, which may not have happened for Salem on that one, hence the timeout. I told you I pulled together at some point.
Lancers have Lancers have back-to-back wins. Again, Central last week, and then Duxbury the week before. So feeling pretty good and confident out there. After the timeout, there's a pitch to Zanini off to the right side. A gain of a few yards.
The Lancers definitely keying on the run. Every time they've handed off, there's been a sea of blue shirts and red pants sitting waiting for them.
I believe Zanini's their speedster kick returner for the Salem Blue Devils. So they're looking for some space for him, much like the Lancers do with Cruz. Once he gets
even
going.
Rayo.
Or even Rayo, yeah. So Mason stays under center. And up this time, looking to the left side. But again, the Lancers are there stopping, I believe that was A.J. Shikrala for his first carry of the evening. And it was Shikrala, injured last week, did not play in the out-of-division game.
Yeah, and it may be a little tough start for Salem because they are getting some of their big starters back from injury, a lot of that didn't play last week.
Looked a little slow coming off the field, went over to talk to the coaches. Hope he's okay. Hate to see these kids injured at the high school level. There's going to be a flag on the play. That looks like 2 men in motion, so this play is going to come back regardless of what happens. Little confusion, too. You saw Mason looking for someone to give that ball to, but made the quick decision to take off. And we'll see here.
Illegal shift.
Illegal shift. There was 2 men in motion, I believe, on that one. So that should set Salem back 5 yards and negate the gain by Mason. But the Lancers still tackled him with about 8 guys, didn't they?
They did. Unfortunately, it was about 10 yards down the field on that one, but I think they knew it was coming back as well. Now, this might put them in their first real passing position for their young sophomore quarterback. So I got to imagine Jimmy will be sending someone just to make sure they know that they're there.
3rd and 10 for the Blue Devils. Mason back to pass. Looking for a man deep, but he's overthrown. That was Zanini out on the right side. Broke away from his defender at the end,
quick.
but just overthrown. He had to turn the jets on right when the ball was thrown, didn't he?
Yeah, had a solid 4 yards on Teeter.
I think Lancers can feel fortunate about that play. This brings up a 4th down for the Blue Devils, and they will come back out to punt with Ryan Bryant back again.
Yeah, 2 straight 3 and out, so defense starting well.
Lancers with nobody back. High snap. Oh, almost a player coming in there to get the hand on the ball.
The punt by number 6, Ryan Bryant, is down.
It's a lot less stressful when you have nobody back there and you can't cause a mistake.
That was Callan Murphy flying in on that one for the Lancers. Just missed a block. Great job by Bryant to bring that snap down and still get a long punt out, get the Lancers back onto their own side of the field. You're right, though. That takes a lot of stress off the coach when
Right.
they don't put anyone back there and say, let it go.
You can't make a mistake if you're not there.
Nobody go back there. Leave that. We'll play it where it lies.
Yeah, I would look to see a long pass here just to try and open up the run game. I don't know if it's going to be on this one, but I would imagine somewhere on this first couple plays we might get something just to air it out and kind of back them up a little bit.
Daron comes out in the shotgun with Cruz behind him. Handoff is to Cruz, but this time he's met in the backfield. That is number 40, Xander Wood, pushing through his offensive line blocks and getting the tackle in the backfield.
Yeah, the center of the defensive line had a good push on that one, so his initial read was to go through the center, and he had to bounce it out to the right, and they were able to grab his shoelaces.
Almost able to break free on that one, but it's now a negative play on 1st down again, so the Lancers are in a 2nd down and long, 14. Ball's on their own 36. Sully's talking to coach. Puts a man in motion.
Gone.
Delayed handoff to Cruz off to the left. He's across the 40 and he's met her on the ankles. Another touchdown saving tackle by Zanini, I believe, was out there again. And Cruz with another big run for the Lancers. And a 1st down in Blue Devil territory. Zanini getting quite the workout.
Yeah, they had everybody, Londonderry had everybody going to the right, which had Salem going to that side as well, and they just turned around and handed it off to Cruz going around the left, and he had no one in front of him.
Great call for that misdirection. The Lancers have 1st and 10 on the 34-yard line of the Blue Devils. Daron looking back to pass. A little pressure coming up, and the pass is complete to Rayo, I believe.
Yep.
A little 4 or 5 yard pass completion.
Yeah, just trying to get Jackson Rayo into the game. So they've tried that on 2 times now, the handoff and 1 pass. So they definitely want to get the ball to the young speedster.
30-yard line.
Daron showing some of that growth this year with that pressure. You saw our man coming in delayed on that. No hesitation, stayed with his reads and found Rayo as he thought right there. So nice to see that from the young quarterback.
Yeah, it looked like he might have had Davis McGarry a little more open, a little further down the field, but he took the check down quick one.
Coach Lozon comes onto the field, calls a timeout for the Lancers with 47 seconds to go in the first quarter. This is scoreless right now, but the Lancers definitely showing as though they have the momentum. It's not on the scoreboard yet, Chris, but to have Salem go 3 and out twice and the Lancers have marched down the field, got to think they want to get a score this time for sure.
Yeah, I would think so. We just had one negative play that really kind of put us behind the chains on that first drive, but other than that, they were moving the ball well, both with the run and the pass. So, again, starting to do the same on this second drive, mixing in a couple runs, long run off the left, and then a pass to the right. So, trying to keep it balanced. I'm still waiting for them to go down the field to really soften up that defense and give Cruz a little more room. Although with some of those long runs, maybe he doesn't need anymore.
Lancers put up their biggest point total, as you said, last week, 46 points against Central. Daron responsible for 3 of those touchdowns.
Yeah, speaking of Cruz, he had 99 yards on 14 carries, 1 yard shy of the century mark. So hopefully he'll get that today.
He's well on his way in the first quarter. Handoff is to Cruz. He finds another big opening. He's across the 20, still running into the 15-yard line. Adrian Cruz making guys miss.
Yeah, it's still scoreless at this point, but it's clear that the Lancers have really come out energetic and ready to try to infect their will on Salem. So we wait for Salem to try and punch back.
Lancers into the red zone as they call it. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 16-yard line. This could most likely, if it's a running play, be the last play of the first quarter. Lancers coming out with 3 wide. 2 to the left, and Rayo on the right comes into motion. The pitch wide left to Rayo. He's looking to make the corner. Almost makes it before he's dragged down by a Salem defender.
I'm pretty sure that was the exact same play that they just ran, but instead of handing it to Cruz, they handed it off to Jackson Rayo. It's that same setup. So they were trying to get him, like, oh, they're going to do it again and sneak Rayo on the side, but they've caught him both times on there.
Yeah, Lancers definitely looking like they're trying to get Rayo involved in the offense today any which way they can. So that will be the end of the first quarter with our score, scoreless, as they say. At the Lancers marching down. They'll have a 2nd down and 9, 2nd down and 8 when we resume.
As we see all the
play.
Londonderry Lancers on the sidelines, are they moseying? Is that a sachet? What is that? An amble?
I'll tell you who's not moving yet, the officials. So I think they're looking to make sure they get the right mark here, and then they'll move it down to the other side of the field.
Slow migration.
Yeah. They got to get it, 70 yards the other way about. So as they go down there and place the ball, the Lancers, I'm sure, talking about what's working.
Well, so far, just about everything.
It's a rather fast-paced first quarter, seemed that way right now. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the Lancers maybe continue the run. Cruz on that last play, you saw some big openings that they are able to make. It's nice to see the offensive line with that success as well. You're not fighting to get through the line, but he's had a couple of runs already in this first quarter where, 2 guys might have fit through that space. So you can get Cruz that burst of speed right at the beginning, then making guys miss 10, 15 yards downfield. It's really opening up these big plays.
Absolutely. I think the key to this game for both teams really is controlling that line of scrimmage. So whichever is able to do that more, I think will come out victorious.
Handoff is to Cruz. Another big opening right up the middle, just to the left. And Cruz plows his way down just outside the 5-yard line for close to the first down.
Right back up to the line.
But this will be a 3rd down and 1. No huddle for the Lancers. Must have called 2 plays in that quarter timeout. Handoff is to Cruz. He jukes once to the left, once to the right. And he dives forward, gets the first down It'll be a first down and goal for the Lancers. Ball on the 1 or 2 yard line.
Tackled on the play by number 6, Ryan Bryant. It's good.
Cruz showing his shiftiness before hitting the hole that time is what got them the positive yards on that play.
Yeah, Lancer line is definitely controlling the line of scrimmage so far, which is giving Cruz a lot of space to run, and so it's been a heavy dose of Cruz so far.
Ball pushed back by the official to the 3 yard line. This will be first and goal from the 3. Pitch to Cruz off to the left. He looks one man miss with a little juke, and he's tackled into the end zone for a Lancer touchdown. Number 23, Adrian Cruz, into the end zone, and the Lancers have their first score of the night.
Score is now the Lancers 6, the Blue Devils 0.
Like you said, Chris, heavy dose of Cruz. It's just what the Lancers needed right there. I think they called those 2 plays in between the quarters, I think, and just came and hit it.
Yep, Cruz left, Cruz left.
Yeah, pretty easy.
Touchdown.
On to try the extra point for the Lancers is Owen Monahan.
The extra point attempt by
And that is good. The Lancers have a 7-0 lead over the Salem Blue Devils with 10:58 in the first half. Lancers, good sign to see them, Chris, be able to march down the field and punch it into the end zone that time. I think if they were turned away one more time, that might have changed the feeling of the sideline.
Yeah, no, so far from both drives, pretty easy pickings for the most part going down the field. A lot of big holes for Cruz to run through. Outside of the one negative play on that first drive, that's really the only thing that set them back. And I think they were about a yard shy from even picking that up. But pretty dominant so far from the Lancer side for those first 2 drives, able to capitalize on the second one.
Great to see from the Lancers being able to control the ball and get down the field. Nice to see, like we keep saying, this development of the Lancers through the seasons. What's great about high school sports is what you see that first week, second week is not what you're going to see all year. So it's nice to be here to witness that.
Yeah, they're just using to continually build and kind of reach that peak.
On officials kick this time is returnable, and that is number 1, Colin Sulkovitz for the Blue Devils. He'll get across the 35-yard line up to, looks like the 38, 39-yard line of the Blue Devils.
Yeah, well, let's see what the Blue Devils have in store for this one. So far, 2 drives. I don't know that they've netted a positive yard. So I think this will be a big drive for them. They really need to start to at least make some progress, push it down, or else their defense is going to be back on the field here in a matter of seconds.
Lancers able to stop them on their opening drive runs lately. Be interesting to see if they try to mix it up with some passes. Mason under center, and the pitch this time to Zanini. But again, he's met by Lancers in the backfield. Lancers having their way with this offensive line, getting some penetration, and again, it's a loss of yards on their first running play for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, until Salem is able to at least make a completion or something down the field, the Lancers are just going to stack the box and just keep on coming. I mean, what else would you do?
Zanini showing his speed as a wideout earlier. Wouldn't be surprised to see that happening again here. But handoff this time, and breaking a few tackles is number 5, A.J. Shakrala.
Yeah, the Lancers had him wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage, and he must have broke through, and because it seemed like the play was over, and then you just kind of saw the pile keep moving.
Shakrala, a strong runner for these Salem Blue Devils. Like we said, he was out last week, and I think he was missed, even though they had the win. But he's someone they look forward to having in the backfield as often as possible. Handoff to Zanini. He's looking to the left. Oh, he's met down low by a Lancer defender. That's number 1, Javion Teeter. And again, Lancers finding some success defending the run again after that one big carry to Shakrilla.
Yeah, and as we know from last week, this Salem group is a resilient group. They're going to keep coming, right? So they're going to keep pounding the rock, and we just have to keep them stuffed, and they're going to hope to break one just like they did a couple plays ago.
Handoff off to the left side. That's Colin Salkovitz. Part of the running back rotation for the Blue Devils, and he gets a big gain for them, bringing up a 3rd down and 1. This is more of what the Blue Devils like to have, these 3rd down and shorts.
Yeah, I mean, they're not even attempting to throw the ball at all. So I think if they do, I think it's going to surprise all of us.
Mason takes that himself. Straight up the middle, and he'll get the 1st down for the Blue Devils. Not quite a tush push, just more of a
like a tush
quick
rocket.
snap and just dive forward and see what he got.
Yeah, it was more like a tush rocket. He went through that pretty quick.
Salem quickly out of the huddle. This time the quick inside handoff. And making a big run is number 17, Jacob Boudry. And he gets a big gain for the Blue Devils. A 20, 25-yard run there for Boudry.
Yeah, the Blue Devils are just lining up saying, we're going to run it, you have to stop it. And they had done for the first 2 drives, but they're starting to find some success here. Once they get past that first line, then they're juicing them for some good yards.
Blue Devils with their 4th running back so far, and they have a 5th one even. Last week had a couple touchdowns against Cumberland. This looks like Boudry again taking the inside handoff and just pushing his way forward to the middle of that defense. And he gets a hard-earned 9 yards for the Blue Devils, but brings up a 2nd down and 1. And now the Blue Devils are just marching right down the field with no problem.
They are pretty much straight up the middle, too. Nothing has really gone to the outside. It's all been up the middle.
Well, Blue Devils finding some success running the ball now here in the 2nd quarter. Boudry and Salkovitz in the backfield. That one goes to Salkovitz, and he's going to make his way into the end zone for a Blue Devil touchdown. And what a response by the Salem Blue Devils.
Yeah, just when everything was going the Lancer way, Blue Devils just basically, 8, 9, 10 plays right up the middle. Worked their way all the way down into the end zone. So it didn't, I think there was some good pushing yards in there, some good hard-working yards, but they made it look easy.
On to try the extra point, number 6, Ryan Bryant. Oh, and the extra point is blocked. Getting his big mitts up there, number 77, Jaden Malatini. Stopping that kick from going through. And with that blocked attempt, the Lancers will take a 7-6 lead with 7:02 to go here in the first half. Salem getting ready to kick off.
Yeah, special teams looking special on that one. Couldn't tell if it hit his arms or right off of his face mask.
So it looks like the Blue Devils taking advantage of having those 4 running backs at least. I mean, I think they have a 5th one too. That constant rotation and the no huddle not allow the Lancers to substitute, get any rest, or reset. As I think what gave them that success going down the field that time, Chris. And they just marched it right down, 60, 65 yards, and quite the response by them.
Yeah, we said whoever controls that line of scrimmage is really going to kind of become victorious here. And I think both sides so far have been able to do that on the last 2 drives.
Bryant on to kick. Deep kick. And returnable.
Ooh, Ball was out.
comes loose. That was Thomas Zira on the return. Salem says they have the ball. No official signal yet.
There's a fumble on the kick return.
Lancer ball.
Lancer ball.
26, Dante Fabiano.
So regardless of what that Salem Blue Devil thought, it made us feel a little nervous about. Again, we're seeing some return woes here from the Lancers.
They will start
That's
out on their own
what hurt them in the
21 yard
Concord game. And again, the Exeter game. I'm sure something they're going to have to talk about at halftime.
Right, and they had one on the Blue Devils' first punt, right? So continue to be a problem here, and that's one of those, like, a young team, they're going to make mistakes, and so part of winning and part of growing is to play mistake-free football. So still certainly something to work on still.
Jerome back in at quarterback, Cruz behind him. A lot of success running the ball here in the first half. This time the handoff goes off to the left side. And that was Owen Crafts coming around with his first carry of the game. Lancers mixing it up.
Yeah, they disguised that one well. I wasn't sure who to watch for.
It's been a heavy dose of Cruz on first down. You can imagine Salem was looking for that, but the handoff goes to Crafts. He gets
flag thrown in the play.
a few yards, but there's a flag.
Holding against the Lancers.
It looks like this one's going to set the Lancers back 10 yards. So instead of a nice run there by Crafts, we're going to have a first down and 20 for the Lancers. So a different type of negative play by the Lancers, a penalty, something we didn't see much against Central last week.
No, they played mistake-free football, and that's really what set them apart last week. But we're starting to see those little ones now starting to build, right? A mistake here, a mistake there, now a penalty. So really got to start to put that behind them and really start to play the ball they're supposed to.
Jerome comes with an empty backfield of a man in motion. He's looking for the quick pass. And not much there working for, I believe that was Van Avery on the reception. And it was. But not much of a gain, if any, right there. And that short pass is being swallowed right up by the Salem Blue Devils, having stopped the Lancers a couple times on that.
Yeah, and this is obviously there's a bit of a momentum shift in that last drive by the Blue Devils. So it looked like Londonderry was ready to take it back, when that holding penalty really kind of put a dent on that. So here looking at 2nd and long.
Cruz re-enters the backfield behind Daron. Lancers will have 3 wide. Daron back to pass. He's got McGarry up the middle. Nice catch by McGarry. He's diving forward. He might be short of the first down, but a good pickup by the Lancers on a 2nd down and 20. Should bring up a 3rd down and short. Pass we've seen a few times this year, McGarry up the seam.
Yeah, and the good thing is he hit him right in stride. He didn't have to slow down. He didn't have to torque his body around. He hit it right in stride, was able to pick up a number of yards more and get us right on the doorstep of getting a first down. So big play by Sully and McGarry.
It will be a 3rd down and 1. Lancers need to get to about the 31-yard line. Handoff is to Cruz. Puts an arm out to shake one guy, and there's a whistle blown. Sounded like the whistle was blown early.
Adrian Cruz on the carry. He's down by his knee.
Yeah.
His knee hit the ground. I did not see that. But the officials closer than us, unfortunately, that negates what it looked like would have been a first down for the Lancers. And now a 4th down and 2. This angle, it was hard to see. Well, Lancers come on to punt. They got number 4, Bradley Higgins, on to punt for the Lancers. Been known to do a few fakes this year. I don't know if this is the time for it, but we'll see. Zanini back for the Blue Devils, has a few kick returns already this year for a touchdown. Hate to get the ball into his hands. And a punt will continue to roll. Well, it's picked up by the Lancers at the 35-yard line.
And the Lancer punt is down.
So, little motion emotional roller coaster on that drive. I think the Lancers are set back, looked like they were in big trouble, looked like they're going to get out of trouble. And then a fluke just touch of the knee there as he was putting the stiff arm out. Set him back enough to have Jimmy Lozon punt that one away and see if his defense can hold Salem like it did on their first 2 drives. Handoff to Zanini. He's looking for the edge on the left side, finds it, and he's pushed out of bounds by Van Avery.
But a solid start on first down for the Blue Devils.
It's a play the Lancers have caught a few times today out there on the edge, Zanini, but not this time. He's able to get it and pick up 8 yards, and now Salem's picking up where they left off on their scoring drive.
Yeah, their first 2 drives, they were really sealing off both of the edges and not giving them any way to get around them, but easy on that one.
Hand off to Boudry this time. He plows ahead across the first down marker and right to midfield. He's met there by a few Lancers, including Austin Holmes on the tackle, but it is good for a Blue Devil first down.
Yeah, they've been handing it off to the first person through the hole, and that's worked out pretty well for them over the last 2 drives.
This first half screaming on by, only 3:33 left, and the clock's still running. And on the carry for 2 or 3 yards there for the Blue Devils is A.J. Shakrala.
Yeah, a little better coverage on the defense side there. They wrapped him up pretty quick and got him down. The problem on a lot of these run plays is not been them getting them the first time, but it's pushing through for another 4 or 5 yards.
Second down and 7. Handoff to Zanini, finds a hole on the left side, makes it across the first down marker. He's met by Van Avery, but again, not until another Blue Devil first down. And they are inside of Lancer territory at the 30, well, we'll see.
Holding.
Oh, we had a flag on the play. Sorry, did not see that. That's a holding call against the Blue Devils. That might be the break that the Lancers need. They'll set them back 10 yards.
I think so, especially as we're watching. We got about 2:53 left in the second quarter before halftime. So if the defense is going to make a push now to get the ball back, it may give the offense one more chance to go down and get some points and build on that 1-point lead.
So that's a spot foul, so that'd be 10 yards from the spot of the hold. We'll set them back maybe 6 or 7 yards from the last line of scrimmage. So we'll have a second down and 15.
Second down and 14 for Salem.
Handoff goes off to the left side.
Again, hitting that first person through the hole, and the Lancers are just having trouble bringing them down immediately. He was able to push for another 5 yards. So it's really that yards after hold and drag. Usually it's yards after run, but yards after being hit, but they're dragging 2 or 3 Lancers with them each time.
Salem doing a good job of mixing it up. Lancers don't know who the ball's going to. They gotta stay with everyone. This handoff, oh wow, play action to Boudroy. Mason held on to it, but he's met in the backfield, and that's a sack by number 8, Brandon Dyer. And with that, I believe the Lancers have called a timeout with a big 4th and long coming up and in the anticipation of a punt. The Lancers have spent their second timeout with 2 minutes to go here in the half. Big play by Dyer.
Yo, absolutely. I couldn't tell if he was going to take it and run or actually pull up and throw. But a big play, a good stop by the Lancer defense, which I think they needed. But it's going to give looks like it's going to give the Lancers offense a chance to put some more points on the board. I can't really see them trying to go for it where they are on the field, right just shy of midfield.
No, I would be surprised to see something from Salem here. I think they might be happy punting it away and see if their defense can hold. The Lancers will have 2 minutes, but only 1 timeout. Punt here could put them back inside the 20. Lancers have already had a couple miscues on the return, so you can imagine they're not going to put anybody back again, right? And they don't.
Yeah, and their punters had a good leg so far. Of course, it's aided with no one back there, so they're going to get the roll.
So Bryant is back on to punt. Took care of a high snap last time, got the punt off. Nice snap. And a nice high punt. Bounce inside the 30. Salem should be in no rush to touch this to allow the clock to go down. They down it at about the 24-yard line. So the Lancers, with 1:49 to go, will start with the ball on their own 24-yard line and one timeout remaining.
And I think we get the ball at the beginning of the second half, so it gives them opportunity to go down and score 2 before the Blue Devils in that run game get a chance to even hold the ball again.
During the pregame warm-ups, we saw the Lancer kickers all trying some long-distance field goals. So you never know if the Lancers can get across midfield down to about the 25-yard line. Maybe they'll try some sort of field goal if they can. Jerome back. Oh, looking for Cruz on the screen. Ball bounces off a defender. Fortunately for the Lancers, falls incomplete.
Yeah, that got bounced around a little bit there.
These short passes don't seem to be fooling the Salem Blue Devils at all today.
No, it's a bit of one of the Lancers' kind of bread and butter plays, right? Part of the, that they run every game, and I think the Blue Devils noticed that, and they haven't found any luck with it so far.
I've been surprised to see them throw it there. I know there's limited time here in the half, but they've had such success with Cruz going up the middle, try to get some positive yards on that first down. But it's 2nd down and 10 for the Lancers. Rayo comes in motion. It's a pass back to Rayo. He's looking for a pass. He's looking for a man deep. That's Van Avery. He's picked off. What a play by the defender. That is Zanini, the speedster. He's coming up the left side before he's met by Adrian Cruz. And a trick play so close to being successful for the Lancers. A great defensive play by Zanini. You'll see here on the replay. He takes that ball away. Van Avery had it.
Yeah, and it was a good 50-50 ball, and usually the tall receiver has the angle there, but Zanini, a little on the smaller side, was able to get up and rip it away.
So now momentum swings back here to the Salem Blue Devils as they will have the ball inside Atlanta territory after that great return by Zanini. And now it's back to 1st and 10 on the Lancer 33.
Yeah, the defense just came off the field, so hopefully they got a couple breathes in there.
Mason under center. And it looks like some motion, and that'll set the Blue Devils back on 1st down behind the sticks.
False start called against the Blue Devils.
That benefits the Lancers again. Nice to have them in that 1st and long or 2nd and long, and any time you can get them there on a running team like this.
Yeah, they had Zanini in motion on that one, so that might have been a quick handoff to him around the side.
Hand off to Boudry, straight up the middle. He's met around the ankles by the Lancers' number 6, Lucas Palma. But he's able to pick up enough yards to get past the original line of scrimmage, near 8 or 9 yards on that one. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 6 or 7 upcoming for the Blue Devils. Not taking a timeout. They do have 2 remaining. Clock going down inside of 1 minute after this play. Hand off to Zanini off to the left. Looking to follow a blocker. Wait for an opening, but he's tripped up in the backfield. Still able to fall forward, but Teeter was back there for the Lancers, and he stopped what could have been a bigger gain.
Yeah, it was a fall forward and jump.
Blue Devils lucky to get that much. That was all Zanini on that one, showing some athleticism there. And he'll bring up a 3rd down and short. A timeout called by the Blue Devils. They have 1 remaining, 45 seconds to go in the 1st half. It would be really unfortunate to see any sort of scoring here by the Blue Devils. Their kicker looks like he has a strong enough leg. He could kick a field goal. For high school, here they're at the 25-yard line, 24. They're probably looking to try to get to about the 15-yard line to feel real confident. That would put up a, 32-yarder for high school. So Lancer's trying to keep them out of that area.
Yeah, the Lancers going to have to find a way to stop this running game at this point. It seems to be gaining momentum drive by drive. Especially now, they're going to probably use as much of the 45 seconds left as they can to put some points on the board.
Don't think they'd kick it from here, so this is definitely a 2-down opportunity for the Blue Devils. Lancers looking to get some negative yards on this, either via a stop or a penalty. And there he is again. A little mix-up in the backfield for the Blue Devils. But who's there again for the loss is Brandon Dyer.
Wow, fantastic play. That knocked him back, I think, to make it a 4th and 4 or 5. So big play by the Lancer defense.
There was a loss of 4 in the play, brings up 4th down.
So just what the Lancers needed was a
timeout.
loss there.
That is their 3rd and final timeout for the half.
Bring up a 4th and medium, 4th down and 5. But now Salem is out of timeouts. So if they are able to get the first down here, they got to be thinking about going out of bounds or maybe spiking a ball on first down to stop the clock. Or they have the no huddle going on, just kind of keep working that. But you can imagine maybe they'd be looking for some sort of passing as well here, Chris.
Yeah, this might pull them actually a little bit out of their comfort zone and have to pass it, because if they run it and they're able to get it, then they're going to have to quickly get up to the ball and spike it.
Big 4th down here for Lancer Nation. Mason under center. Hand off to the right side. That goes off to number 1, Colin Salkovitz. He makes the first down, but again, the clock does stop for first down in high school football, like it does in college.
First down and 10, Salem.
And Mason spikes the ball to stop it again. Trade the down for the clock. So it'll be a 2nd down and 10 when play resumes.
2nd down and 10
Yeah,
for
and
Salem.
good run by the Blue Devils. There was no one sitting on this right side, so able to get a good solid 10 yards down before even being touched.
So this cycle of running backs for Salem helping out again. They finding success. Shakrala back in the backfield this time. Fakes the pitch, does Mason. Looking for a man across the middle. He finds him, and that's going to be for a Blue Devil touchdown. Number 1, Colin Salkovitz. Open across the middle. As we expected, a little bit of a pass play mixed into what was happening here for the Blue Devils. And
I think that's our first completed pass.
I think you're right, Chris.
Yeah, good for a touchdown, so it's a good time to get your completed pass. But again, all of that aided by a mistake on the Lancer offense that even gave them the opportunity to go down and do that.
Now, a late flag coming in. Looks like a sideline
We have a sideline
warning called against the Blue Devils, which is just, as you say, a warning. I believe the next time they might assess some sort of penalty. So Bryant comes on to attempt an extra point. First one this evening was blocked by the Lancers.
Oop.
And some movement on the front, on the offensive line. My apologies.
Yeah, looks like number 62.
Set this kick back 5 yards. And things have come to a screeching halt here.
5-yard penalty. They'll redo the extra point.
Got a couple flags thrown after the touchdown. One that didn't assess anything, but this one would be 5 yards. So they reset for the kick again. The kick is down, and it is good. So with that kick, that gives the Salem Blue Devils 13, your Lancers 7, with 21 seconds to go in the half. Lancers will get the kickoff here. They'll get it again at the second half, so I'm willing to bet, Chris, whatever happens on this return will determine what the Lancers do on moving forward, where they attempt to have a couple plays and get close, they have a timeout, or if the return is not so successful, just kind of taking a knee.
Yeah, and as we saw, this kicker has a good leg, so he put them deep. So, yeah, I think pending the outcome of this kickoff and how far the Lancers can move the ball will really dictate whether they just kind of knee it down on it or they try to get some points out of it.
Murphy and Zira are back for the Lancers.
Number 6, Ryan Bryan, getting set to kick off.
A short line drive. And nowhere to go back there for Zira. Took some time off the clock as well, so the Lancers coming up a first down and 10 on their own 5-yard. I'm willing to bet Lozon's just going to take a knee and talk about this at halftime.
I think so. I think that's the right play. Last thing you want to do is make another mistake down here on your 5-yard line. But let's kneel it down, get into halftime, figure out some course corrections, especially for that Blue Devil running game. You know, the offense has been moving it, so so there's a chance there, but they got to find a way to stop that three-headed attack on the running backs from Salem.
And Daron does take the knee, and that'll bring us down to the end of the first half. Lancers with a strong first quarter and first 2 or 3 possessions, but the Salem Blue Devils not threatened at all. They are able to put up 2 scores in the half. So as we go into halftime, it'll be the Blue Devils 13, the Lancers 7. And we'll sign off here for the half. You can enjoy the marching Lancers and the Blue Devil marching band as well. We'll see you after the half.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome for the first part of tonight's halftime show, the Salem Blue Devil Marching Band and Color Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for the Salem Blue Devil High School Marching Band and Color Guard. And now, ladies and gentlemen, taking the field is the Londonderry High School Marching Band and Color Guard. This year's show is Go West. The first part of the show features the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the Magnificent Seven. Part 2 includes These Boots Are Made for Walking, and the third part of the show features Wanted Dead or Alive, and part 4 is Carry On Wayward Son. The band is led onto the field by senior drum majors Gretchen Murray and Faith Nolan and junior drum major Blake Gustitis. Drum captains for the 25-26 season are Jacob Seveny and Keegan Wolverton, and the color guard captains are Sophia Douglas and Simone Miller. The band is directed by Serge Bolio and Devin DiBernardo. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome your Londonderry Lancer High School Marching Band and Color Guard. heard one more time for your legendary Lancer High School Marching Band and Color Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, each week the Lancer Gridiron Club puts out a notice for volunteers which they're in bad need of. But week after week, one person, James Fabiano, has graciously volunteered his time to hold the chains at multiple levels at different games. And tonight, Lancer Nation would like to recognize and thank James for all of his volunteerism every single week. James Fabiano, thank you very much for being a Lancer volunteer standout.
Welcome back here at Lancer Park. A second half getting ready to start here. Lancers down 13-7. What started as a promising first quarter for the Lancers, marching right down the field and getting shut out on downs by Salem. Had a second possession and went on down, scored, got a 7-0 lead. Was able to stop the Blue Devils in their first couple possessions. But since has not had an answer for the Blue Devils. Almost got out of it there, Chris, in the second quarter. Devils kind of shot themselves in the foot there, got a few penalties, and the Lancers able to take over with about 2 minutes to go, and that trick play came back to bite them. A great play by Zanini on the Blue Devils, running down that interception and have a nice return. It set up the Blue Devils to go down and get the leading score.
Yeah, as you said, Scott, it was really kind of the tale of two quarters. First one heavily dominated by the Lancer running game, and then the second one dominated by the Blue Devil running game. So really the only difference in the game from a score point of view is the turnover by the Blue Devils on a trick play from Rayo, trying to throw it out to Van Avery and try to catch him looking for the run. And that's really the difference. The Blue Devils were able to take that and push it right into the end zone right before halftime. So that's really the difference in the game so far.
Lancers will receive the second half kickoff. If you're thinking like me, Chris, might like to see them kind of get Cruz back in the game again. I know they've tried to mix it up, get Rayo in there. They had the handoff to Crofts earlier too, try to mix it up and not have just go Cruz the whole time, but they were pretty successful with that. Their first two drives, and the gaps were there, and he was finding some space. So unless he had got hurt, and I don't think he did, it would be nice to see them hand it off to him a few times and get the defense to commit to that run again and try to find some openings.
Yeah, I think it's one of the, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So Cruz was finding a lot of open space on the left side and the right side, and gaining some pretty good chunk plays during each of those initial drives. And they kind of went away from that a little bit. Really, their issues came, or that set them backwards, were on trick plays, both kind of rolling Rayo out. One where he got tackled behind the line of scrimmage, and the other where he tried to throw it downfield to Van Avery. So Blue Devils able to kind of convert on those, where handing it off to Cruz, a little more straightforward back, was having a little more success. We'll see. Hopefully they can get back to that. But I think more than anything, what's going to determine the difference in this game is the Lancer defensive line. Are they going to be able to stop that three-headed monster that the Blue Devils seem to be doing? It's hard to tell which back is going to get the ball on any play, and I think that's really going to determine the difference here.
No, you're right, Chris. They tried a few pass plays, the Blue Devils. I mean, they were successful getting the touchdown on that one, a well-timed play to get that throw across the middle. But outside of that, they had a couple incompletions and a couple sacks. So it wasn't overly successful other than that score, which obviously is the most important part. So they found it at the right time. But the Lancers, if they can focus on that run again, and it's really kind of pick who's going to get it. Then a number of guys running with it. Zanini, Salkovitz, they all had handoffs. Tricala's back from injury. He's had a few shots at it. And Boudry's in there as well. All well-established runners. So the Blue Devils, I would assume, when they have the ball, will continue to just running play, hand it off, not huddle up. When they do, they huddle up real quick, say, hey, we're going with this guy this way. Now let's go for it. Lancers aren't getting much time to substitute on and off the field and get that rest.
Yeah, and that's tough too, because the Blue Devils they're exactly who you thought they were,
yeah.
right? They're doing exactly what they always do, so nothing really here is a surprise. It just seems the plan to stop that. Very successful on the first 2 downs, but seems to have been lost in any of the drives after that. So it's really going to come back to, can they stop that run? The other part is, can they do a little better on the special teams side? So each of both a punt and a couple kickoffs, it all been kind of muffed to some extent. So you can't really run everybody away from it on a kickoff. So we'll see what they do here. The kicker has a strong leg, but they need to catch the ball, secure it, and really start to make your way up the field.
Bryant will be on to kick again. And back for the Lancers are Murphy and Rayo. It's a deep kick. Looks like it's going to be fielded by Murphy. He takes it up to the left side, but he's met. Great coverage by the Blue Devils. That's their number 48.
On the kickoff,
Elijah Maduro. He's a freshman called up to play varsity today, and he makes a big special teams play, not allowing the Lancers to get much on that return.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, because that was the first player down. It seemed like that was blocked okay, and it seems like more they just ran right into the back of the blocker.
Well, Lancers haven't gotten much on the 3 kick returns they've had a chance at today.
Yeah, the Blue Devils have really used that to really kind of change the possession, change the field position.
First down and 10 for the Lancers. The ball is on their own 22 to start this third quarter. And there's a pitch to Cruz off to the right. Lancers have success there earlier today. And Cruz is met after a gain of 3 or 4 yards. But positive yards on first down, something the Lancers had gotten away from in their last couple drives, whether it was via penalty or some sort of different type of play other than just kind of running straight forward. So maybe that's something they talked about at halftime, Chris, just getting there. Let's get those positive yards on that first play so we can set up the rest of the drive.
Yeah, I think they were really listening to us talk here right before this half.
I respect that. Thrown with Cruz and Rayo in motion. Rayo takes that hand off.
He's got space.
He's found some space on the left side. He's got a first down, and he's met over on the sideline by the Blue Devil number 54, Jack Richard, but not before a first down and more. And there it is, trying to get the hands in Rayo again. The ball into Rayo's hands. And this time he's able to make the edge.
Yeah, that's the first time he's been able to get around that edge, and obviously he's got speed, so once he gets around there, then it's usually going to be a good gain. But the Blue Devils had bottled that up so far, so it was good to see him get some time there.
Ball is on the 37-yard line. In motion comes Dyer. Jerome rolls out to the right. Looking for a man, tucks and runs. Doesn't quite make the line of scrimmage. So that'll be a loss of maybe a yard depending on the spot once the ball goes down.
Loss of 1 on the play, 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, trying to get Sully out on the edge, but that's one of those situations where you just want to throw the ball away, right? I mean, I guess he only lost a yard, but just throw it away and start a new play. But the positive side is they were trying to get the ball downfield. right? Because I think they need to do that in order to soften up that front line a little bit.
2nd down and 11 for the Lancers. Jerome with the option, pitch to Cruz. He finds a spot up on the left side for a gain of just about 3 yards. And a little after the play, maybe we'll call that a handshake between some Lancers and Blue Devils. Official takes care of that right away. No flag. Telling the boys just to stop it.
Yeah, it's a big play here for the Lancers. Obviously, they want to start to take the momentum back from the Blue Devils really kind of grabbing that at the end of the first half. And they got their first challenging play here with the 3rd and 7.
I agree, Chris. Think Lancers need a score here on this drive. Starts by getting the first down here. Man, came across the line. No call by the official.
Yeah, I don't know what they didn't see there. The guy was staring right at it.
Jerome back to pass. He's looking deep for Van Avery. He's trying to get the pass. No flag as Van Avery tries to come back, and the defender carried him away from the ball. Usually you can see a flag on that. Receiver has a right to the ball to come back to it. The fans are flabbergasted here, Chris.
Right, and usually the cornerback there has to at least turn and look for the ball, right, to make a play on the ball, and he didn't do that at all. He just continued to run through the receiver and then put his arms up like I didn't do anything.
Well, that is unfortunate for the Lancers there that they were not able to get the call. And now the punt team will come out as the Lancers kick this ball away to the Blue Devils. Have Jordan Zanini back there. The kick is away. Some good coverage by the Lancers. Don't want to touch that ball dead. Let it roll. And they do. And they flip the field in a way. Get the ball down to about the 25-yard line. But, again, unfortunate, Chris. We've seen a bunch of calls this year where there could be something questionable, but I don't think that was one of them.
Yeah, no, I think there was 2 on that drive, both jumping offsides and then the pass interference. It seemed pretty obvious, at least from here. So I'm sure they have a reason for not doing it, but it's hard to tell from this side. But obviously not the start that the Lancers were hoping for, not the way they drew it up. But now we'll see what they come back with to try and stop that run game.
I will say the official did just come over and talk to Coach Lozon. A lot of respect there to explain maybe what he saw on that and why there was no flag. So it's nice to see that relationship between the officials and the coaches. On the run for the Blue Devils is Boudry, and he makes another Blue Devil first down. But there is a flag on the play.
Maybe they felt bad for the last one, so they're trying to help out a little.
Couple plays too late this time, but a holding call against the Blue Devils.
Yep.
We'll push them 10 yards from the spot. Looks like the flag's on the 30, so the ball should be back somewhere around the 20, I'm guessing, after this.
Yeah, and this should play right well into the wheelhouse for Londonderry here, right? They just got to wrap him up. He can get 4 or 5 yards. He just can't get 10.
Yes. So after the penalty is marked off, looks to be have about a first down and 15 for the Blue Devils.
First down and 15 for Salem.
Handoff again, off to the right, finding some success there, and off to the races is number 1, Colin Salkovitz. Looking to run him down as a Lancer defender, but he will not get there in time. And the Salem Blue Devils with an 80-yard touchdown run by Salkovitz
So the score is now the Blue
has
Devils
stunned this crowd.
19, the Lancers
As
7.
before the extra point here, it'll be 19-7, the Blue Devils.
Yeah, it's about the worst possible start to the second half that Coach Lozon would have hoped for, right? Stopped 3 and out. I guess maybe they did get 1 first down, so stopped on their first drive and then giving up the long running play on the Blue Devils' first drive. So not a good start.
The snap is fumbled on the extra point try, and the holder's attempting to run it in, and
I think he did.
Does.
Wow, nothing
And
going the
that is
Lancer way at the moment.
Donovan Politori picks up the snap.
The Lancers 21. Correction, Lancers 7.
Right, and that's simple there. That should be an easy tackle, but he's able to pick it up, get around the edge, and fight his way for the extra 2 points.
Well, Chris, I would question why he wouldn't be down when he has his knee on the ground.
Oh, did he have his knee on the ground?
That's a high school rule. He did have his knee on the ground when he picked the ball up. Maybe that's a rule I'm unfamiliar with. I'd have to check that out.
No, I think that's pretty straightforward when it comes to college and high school.
His knee was down. He fielded the ball, or maybe he didn't have possession, they're saying, but he's touched it. So, well, whatever it is 21-7 now. Salem and everything breaking their way.
Yeah, good start. Good start for the Blue Devils, right? Good couple solid runs. Londonderry had them backed up, and once they backed them up, that's when they got their long run.
So the Lancers getting stopped now, and that's what we talked about with the Blue Devils last week. They went down early. Things weren't going their way. Now today, same thing. Lancers seem to be doing what they want with the ball. Have a 7-0 lead, and since then, Blue Devils have put 21 points up.
Yeah, and this is what they did last week, right? They're a resilient group. They're just going to keep running the ball and expect that breakaway is going to happen. And they seem to get it.
Murphy and Rael back, and a long kickoff by Bryant into the end zone. Not something you see all the time here at the high school level, so the Lancers will get the ball on the 20-yard line. First down and 10.
Yeah, the Salem kickoffs have all gone deep, and really Londonderry has not handled those very well at all. I don't think any of their returns, whether they caught it or muffed it or just let it go, they wound up deep, starting their drives deep in their own zone.
It's a nice weapon to have there, able to kick it into the end zone at this level. And starting anybody at the 20-yard line seems like a good option for a defense here at the high school level. So Jerome, the Lancers come out, down by 14. The pitch is to Cruz off to the left, but this time not finding any room, nothing like he found earlier in the game. And negative yards on the first play will bring up second down and 12 for your Lancers.
Yeah, they're going to have to get a couple plays, a couple pass plays, connect on those down the field, because right now they're sitting on it. They're watching Cruz and spying him.
They bring up the developing young team here, Chris, having to handle this adversity. If this is something they can come back from today, that will help them grow, right?
Of course.
And I'm sure that's what Coach is talking to them about, that this game's not over just because you've had a bad stretch here for a quarter and a half. It can go our way just the same. Jerome's pass, wide open, number 17, Braden Ayers, and he's off to the house. He's gonna be close. No, he's run down again. Don't tell me, guess who it is? Zanini. He has stopped a lot of Lancers' chances today. A couple big runs, and this time he runs down Ayers as he's just about to get into the end zone. But just what the Lancers needed right there, a long pass play, Chris, and that wakes the crowd up.
Yeah, it wakes the crowd up, and that's exactly what they needed, because they needed that defense to sit back on its heels a little bit. That way, that gives Cruz a little more space. That right there alone will make that defense sit back just a little more. Make him think at least a little twice.
So the Lancers are first and goal on the 1-yard line.
Talk about a time when they needed it, too.
St. Gelais in at quarterback. Been known to run the option here, or just take it himself a few times this year. Fakes the handoff, runs it in for a Lancer touchdown. number 15, Brock St. Gelais. And the Lancers answer that long run by the Blue Devils with a long pass themselves. And now the Lancers within a score.
Yeah, that was a big drive. They needed that. Obviously, the big play all the way down to the one. Yeah, they had a lot of motion on that play to get it in, but anybody that's watched the Lancers knew what was going to happen. It was going to be a run up the middle.
Monahan's kick is up, and it is good.
Good. You can see a good, strong kicking game.
With 7:10 to go in the third quarter, 2 quick scores, one by each team. And our score is now 21 Salem, 14 Londonderry. Well, everyone's awake now, Chris. It looked like the crowd had just been taken out of it on that long run by Salkovitz, and thinking this could be the worst case scenario for us, but first play, pass play.
That's right. Well, welcome to high school football, right? That can happen here. I think the Lancers on their kicking game have been a little more strategic as far as Salem has been kicking it all the way down, but they've got Zanini back there, and he can break one at any time. We've seen his speed a number of times throughout the game, both on offense and defense. So I have no doubt they're going to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere near number 0.
Just off the top of my head, he has at least 2 touchdown-saving tackles. I mean, I know the Lancers just punched it in there, but he stopped Cruz earlier in the game when he was going to take it deep on a running play, and he has that interception too that Van Avery thought he had in his hands, I think. Before he took it away, he ran that one down. So Von Pischel's kick, high kick, fumbled in the return. He fumbles it again, but he gets right into his hands, a little popcorn there. By the returner, David Chandler Jr. Maybe there's something with the kicking ball today, but both coaches having mild heart attacks out here, I think, Chris.
I think so. I think that one was get the ball as high as you can and let the runners go down there and try to hit them right as they catch the ball. So some good fumbles there. I mean, that's what you're looking for. One takeaway here, and then Londonderry's right back in the ballgame.
He fumbled that one, and then he got to get in his hands again. It popped right out, but right into his hands, unfortunately, for the Lancers. What a turnover that would have been.
Yeah, talk about a big drive for the Lancer defense here. They need a little good mojo. They need to stop them here quick and easy. 1st and
10 for the Blue Devils. Mason under center. The pitch is Zanini. He's looking for a pass. He's looking for a man. Has him across the middle. And a taste of the Lancers' own medicine there. That's Zanini with the pass.
Multi-talented, yep.
To Jack Marconi, their senior tight end. And now he's just showing off, Chris.
Right, I think so. A little trickery for Salem there, and they were able to work it out. So the Lancers have tried some trickery. It hasn't quite worked out for them. Salem's able to make it happen. So good first down play. Now I think we're going to go back to the run game.
Boudry and Salkovitz in the backfield. Handoff is to Boudry. And comes in a late flag, or I shouldn't say late, it's more of the end of the play flag. And we'll see what the call is here by the official. Personal foul face mask against the Lancers. Highly unfortunate having stopped him on about 2 or 3 yards. I believe it might be like the pros, it's a high school well, it's a personal foul anyway. It's a 15-yarder.
Yeah, that's going to get him a first down. So
there was a time when there was a 5-yard face mask and a 15-yarder. I think all levels have taken that away, and they're all 15 now, but I might be wrong. At any rate, that's a 15-yarder, and it gets Salem across midfield. And
just like that.
And here they come again.
Right, and this is where we talk about some of those little mistakes, right? Those that young teams make, and they're starting to creep up, but they need to stand strong here and hold them for no gain.
Handoff is to Salkovitz, my apologies. And he finds some yardage.
Right, a simple one off to the right, but 6-7 yards on first down. Right?
And they've shown enough variety here, Chris, where you got to keep your eye on Boudry back there in case he gets the quick inside handoff. And if not, now you guys quickly change your mind and go to Salkovitz. But by the time you get there, the blockers are there. So this Salem running game working just as they planned. doesn't look like a team that lost 3 in a row earlier this year.
No, I think last couple of weeks they have figured something out. So obviously causing challenges for the Lancer defense.
Handoff goes up the middle to Shikrala.
Looks like
And he
just
falls
shy of
down
the first down.
just short of the first down, though they could measure it.
On the run was number
Depends
5,
on how the
Ian
sticks are.
Skrala.
And they will. An official timeout on the field. And they'll ask for a measurement. So there you go. You get number 5, Shikrala, come back from an injury. So when you get tired of handing it off to the other guys, you call in your other star. He comes in, gets you 4 or 5 yards, and that's just what they're doing.
Yeah, or there you get Zanini coming off the edge. So a lot of good effort here, a lot of good power running going on from the Salem Blue Devils.
And it is good for a Salem Blue Devil first down. They will have a 1st and 10, the ball just outside the Lancer 30-yard line, but Lancers not yet showing any signs of being able to stop them here in the second half, much like they could.
Yeah,
If you remember, there was 3 and out the first 2 drives. It was stop, stop, stop.
Yeah, they went nowhere. And the other good thing that Salem is doing right now is they're running the ball, but they're not fumbling, they're not dropping, they're not letting it go. So look for the Lancers to try to get in there and punch that ball out to try and get a turnover.
.445 to go here in the third quarter. Each team has scored once. 21-14. Blue Devils lead. Handoff to Shikala again, this time up the middle. He's met by the Lancers, much like you saw in the first half or the first quarter. And on the tackle for the Lancers is number 26, Dante Fabiano.
Yeah, and the positive side on that was they wrapped him up and brought him down. They didn't get 2, 3, 4, 5 more yards after contact.
Second down and 8 for the Blue Devils. Zanini gets the handoff. He's looking for the outside, left side edge. Finds it, makes it across the 20, cuts back to the 10. And he's met by some Lancers. Finally pushed out of bounds by number 8, Brandon Dyer. But not before another big gain in the running game here for the Blue Devils.
And they almost had it. They almost had that edge sealed off, but Zanini was able to get right around it. I think it took one bad step when trying to seal that edge, and that was enough for Zanini to get right around it.
It's almost like the Blue Devils said, well, you stopped us up the middle. Let's see if you can stop us on the edge here, mixing it up.
And yeah, they gotta really stiffen up here and figure out how to keep them out of the end zone.
Tricala takes the ball off to the right. He's got a big hole. Not quite able to get the Jets going. And he's met by a Lancer, number 6, Lucas Palma. Able to tackle him in the open field. It looked like he might have had some space to get to the corner, but Lancers recovered real well and stopped him.
Yeah, they were able to get out there with some speed and keep him from being able to actually turn upfield.
Another good first down stop for the Lancers. That's back-to-back here. Second down and goal from the 7-yard line. Budry and Zanini come out in the backfield. Just fakes the handoff. Passes almost intercepted by 18, Van Avery. It was intended for number 8, Jack Marconi. Play fake there by Mason.
Yeah, he had both hands on it. I think the offensive receiver was able to actually play defense and knock it out. Almost a huge play, that takeaway that the Lancers desperately need, but not quite.
So a great defensive play by Van Avery brings up third down and goal. Budry and Zanini, pitches to Zanini. He's looking for some space. He's not going to make the end zone. He's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. I think Van Avery was in on that one as well. Pushes him out around the see where they put the ball here. Inside the 5 at the 4-yard line.
And
So
we'll see what they do here. It looks.
4th down and goal from the 4-yard line for the Blue Devils.
4th down and goal.
They're going to go for it, yep. So
Udry and
big play.
Selkovitz in the backfield. Handoff to Selkovitz. He's looking to go to the right. He's met by a defender. He's pushing through. He won't make the end zone, though. No, sir. Lancers are there. And to finish off that tackle is number 6, Lucas Palma. And just what those Lancers needed on defense, a big stop and a turnover on downs.
Yeah, huge stop by the Lancer defense. Van Avery might have been in there. He came out all pumped up, so big stop. Now we need to start to work, get a couple first downs, just enough to, at the very least, shift the field a little further for the Lancer way.
You talked about it a few times, Chris, how they were able to hit the hole, maybe get hit by a defender the Blue Devils have, and then shake him off and get a few yards. Those last 2 plays they were trying to, but the Lancers are swarming and able to stop them, and that's something that we're hoping to see. We saw it, and now the Lancers have a 1st down and 10 from their own 2. Derone standing in his end zone will take the snap, fake the handoff, looking for a pass. He's going deep. He's looking for Rayo. Oh, and just off the hands. He had him one-on-one coverage. That's where you want Rayo. What a play call by the Lancers, throwing it out of the end zone.
Good throw by Sully. Had him, hit him in both hands. That would have been a huge play for the Lancers.
But the passing is there, Chris. You talked
It's
about
there.
it after the half, seeing if we can get some downfield plays, and it's there. So the Lancers, even though not successful on that play, have to feel as though they have that, and maybe now it's in the back of the mind of the Blue Devils. Maybe they'll keep a couple more guys back and allow you to run the ball up the middle again or off to the edges. But a 2nd down and 10. Lancers don't do much under center. So Darone's in the end zone. Handoff to Cruz. He tries to go to the right. Doesn't get much. Maybe the line of scrimmage. And he'll bring up a 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, about 4 different Blue Devils there to meet Cruz right off the right side. So big play here. 3rd, obviously you're at like your 1-yard line, so you have to be very careful with what you do. You don't want to get tackled in the end zone, but I would look for a pass play out of the end zone here. Could even see a screen, one of the little screens where they dump it over the line and look for the run.
Not a whole lot of room to punt here either, so you're
You
kind of looking to get some
got Jackson
space.
Rayo down here all by himself.
Derone,
One-on-one,
back to pass.
and
He's
that's
thrown
what they're
it
going.
deep again to Rayo. He's got him. He's open. He makes the catch at the 35. And once again, as you saw, Chris, Rayo one-on-one coverage. He's left alone. They're going to throw it to him all day because he's got the speed in the hands. And the Lancers get out of the shadow of their own goalpost and are now at a 1st down and 10 ball on the 38-yard line.
Yeah, huge play, and they were able to get that in there before Zanini and his speed was able to get over there. So, but yeah, I saw Rayo down there one-on-one, and I think that they might take that all day.
Lancers with a little bit of momentum now, having stopped the Blue Devils inside the 5-yard line, and now making a 1st down themselves. Jerome back to pass again, pump fakes. And he throws this one away. It looked like he was looking for Rayo short. A stop and go maybe even, but not there. And a good decision by the junior quarterback not to run around with it, but just throw it away.
Yeah, get it out. Don't take the sack. Don't put it in harm's way. Right now we have some momentum. Last thing we want to do is give it right back to Salem.
That's something Jimmy was talking about in the article in the Union Leader of watching the growth of these quarterbacks, knowing when and when not to throw the ball, when and when not to run with it, how long can you stay in the pocket, when to have that option play there for you. So getting these snaps, he says, really the only way to do it. So if there was a mistake early in the year and then you learn from it and you show some progress here, that's what they're looking for. So fakes the handoff to Rayo that time. Oh, so Sully Derone takes it himself. He's met hard in the middle of the field by a Blue Devil defender, but I think a good decision that time to take the run. And I think he's shooken up. He's got to come off the field. And
Yeah,
St. Gelais
took a pretty good shot, but he popped up real quick. So looks like he's going to be okay. They're just going to give him a quick checkout.
So Brock St. Gelais comes in at quarterback for the Lancers. Jerome gets a little bit of water.
Gain of 4 on the play, 3rd down and 6.
3rd down and 6, another important one here. We want to continue this momentum.
McGarian goes into motion. St. Gelais takes the ball. He's trying to wide left, but he's run down by a Blue Devil defender. That is number 54, Jack Richard, in there. Been in a couple plays today.
15, Brock St. Gelais.
And that'll be a 4th down and long for the
He's tackled in the
Lancers.
backfield by number 54, Jack Richard.
But the clock runs down to 0, and here at the end of the 3rd quarter,
Brings up a 4th down and 11 for the
it'll
Lancers.
be the Blue Devils 21, Lancers 14. And as they flip the field here, Lancers will come out with the punt team.
The Salem Blue Devils.
Yeah, 3rd quarter, both teams traded some blows, some long run play from the Salem side, a couple long pass plays from the Lancer side. So both teams finding some success in their stronger elements. So we'll see what the 4th quarter has for us.
Yeah, Lancers coming out to throw a few times out of the end zone there. Finding success to Rayo almost twice, right?
Yeah, they found a mismatch that they're looking to exploit, and they were able to, really should have twice.
Yeah.
Both of them were able to hit Rayo in the hands. He missed the first one, but is able to pull down the second. He wasn't going to let that happen twice. So, but start at the 4th quarter. Lancers down 14-21, and about to punt over to the Salem Blue Devils.
Bradley Higgins will come in to punt for the Lancers, and the star of the game for the Blue Devils, Zanini, back to return. The last thing you want to do is get the ball in his hands. Hopefully you can kick it right over his head, or at least away from him to one side or the other, get some coverage down there.
Yeah, he's up pretty short, so I mean, anything away from him though.
And
That'll work.
Great punt by Higgins, way over his head. It's still bouncing. Lancers should let that go. And it's going to roll down to the 16-yard line. And a fantastic punt by Bradley Higgins helps the Lancer defense by pinning the Blue Devil offense back inside their own 20. And they'll have a 1st and 10 from their own 16.
Yeah, and it looked like they had that punt play where occasionally they opt for it and go for the run. And he took a couple steps, must have seen something he didn't like, and decided to punt it away.
Jordan Zanini was back there sort of on a return, sort of as a free safety, his position on defense as well, right? But Lancers able to get the nice punt off and see if the defense could hold once again for them. Hand off to Zanini. He's looking again to get off to the left side. Cruz trying to chase him down. He's able to drag him out of bounds, but not before another 1st down. A big run of about 16 yards or more for Zanini. Once he gets that edge, that's trouble.
Yeah, I think we've seen that play about 10 times now. So, but it's working for them. Zanini able to get around the edge. He's got the speed. Lancer's got to find a way to seal off those edges.
Something they were stopping in the 1st quarter. They were getting to him before you get to the edge, but now he's not getting tired regardless of what he's done today. Handoff to the left side again. That time to Selkovitz, who does get hit after a couple yards, but pushes ahead for a few more. Turns a 5-yard gain into about a 6 or 7-yard gain, and a 2nd down and 4 upcoming.
Yeah, that's really been the Blue Devils' MO here. Like, we're just going to big body you, and you're going to have to tackle us, but chances are you're not going to tackle us and knock us backwards. We're going to knock you backwards about 3 or 4 more yards.
Ball is on the 41-yard line. Salkovich takes the ball again, this time up the middle. The Lancer defender is there to stop him, number 55, Joseph Strong, in on the tackle, able to stop him from getting that first down and bringing up a 3rd down and short.
Yeah, Lancers really looking for that takeaway. It's been a while since they've had a good takeaway, and nothing like a good time for that at this point.
Third down and 1, ball sits just outside the 45, maybe at the 44-yard line.
It does look like Sully Derone is ready to come back in once the offense comes back out. He's got his helmet on, ready to go.
Woodry alone in the backfield. So Zanini comes into motion, and Mason takes it himself, did this earlier.
But he's able to take what should have been a 1-yard gain to 5.
Yeah, even as the quarterback sneak, he's getting more than you would like him to go on something like that.
Right. After a good punt and had Salem backed up at least deep in their zone, they're already, after a handful of plays, up at midfield. Again, not even a single attempt at a pass, all runs. It's hard to blame them, though. It's working.
It
so
is.
Might as well keep doing it.
It is inside of 10 minutes now here in the 4th quarter. Lancers down by 7. Blue Devils with the ball and marching. Zanini goes into motion this time. It's a fake handoff, and the pass is
caught.
Complete. That looks like the tight end again.
Right,
Jack Marconi may have gotten hurt on the tackle. And he's able to grab that ball and bring it in, but stretched himself out a little bit, gets back up.
Yep.
Play action pass on 1st down.
This is well covered, but just a good placed ball by the sophomore quarterback.
Just another thing for the Lancers to think about here. You got 3 or 4 running backs that could take the ball. The quarterback can take the sneak, and now they're mixing in the play action.
Yeah, in the same way that works on our side, and it gets our defense back on their heels too.
Boudry takes it straight up the gut, met by a number of Lancers, continuing to push and be pushed back. Handful of Lancers in on that tackle. Looks like they're able to stop him short of the 1st down.
I think the entire Lancer defense was within about 3 yards of the ball when that ball was hiked. So all good for stopping the run as long as they do that. But if they take a shot with Zanini, that could be a problem.
Zanini takes the handoff, finds a hole on the left side. He's breaking it wide open. He's got one man to beat, and he does. Into the end zone is 0 Jordan Zanini.
He's really like the one-man gang here. You know, a couple other handoffs here, but he's been the death blow.
Zanini with a slow start early in the 1st half, getting stopped in the first couple of runs, but ever since he's been able to find that edge, finds it there that time, cuts it in before he quite makes the edge, and in for the touchdown for the Blue Devils. On to kick the extra point is Bryant. He has made 1 extra point, had 1 blocked, had a 2-point conversion, not by Bryant, but by the holder. The snap is down, and the kick is blocked again. A couple Lancers there. Van Avery might have been one of them. Would have to see it on the replay, and it looks like it was.
Kick is blocked by number 6, Lucas.
No, number 6, Lucas Palma got his hands on that. So that makes a 13-point lead for the Blue Devils with 7:56 to go here in the 4th quarter. It is 27-14.
Yeah, and that clock is going to start to become an issue now. Down 2 touchdowns for the most part. So Lancer's going to look to strike here as quickly as possible. And then, because one thing the Blue Devils running attack does do, and that's drain the clock.
That's something that in the past has worked in the Lancers' favor when they found some victories against the Blue Devils, where you can get up if you get a lead of 2 or 3 scores, two scores, 10 points, something like that, and they have to run the ball, the clock is on your side. But today, you're thinking just the opposite. Now, you have to get a quick score and a turnover or an onside kick or a quick score and stop them. But this Blue Devil offense has shown that they're able to control the ball and in the line of scrimmage right now and eating up some clock. The kick goes deep. It'll be returned. That is Rayo. He's looking for some space. Finds out the middle. He's getting dragged from behind. Just about ready to break it open.
He's about one fist away, I think.
Oh,
from
my. It
all
looks
the
like
way.
he was grabbed from behind by Jack Marconi, but Rayo looking to make some magic happen. Gets caught from behind right when you turn those jets on.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot about, this team the Lancer team's a little younger on from an age point of view, but what that also means is they're a little smaller than usual, right? So that running game that keeps pounding at them is hard because they're a little smaller, and it's hard to plug up those holes.
Daron comes back in as quarterback, gets the play from Lozon and brings it to the huddle. Lancers will have a 1st and 10. Ball is on their own 31-yard line. Cruz in the backfield. Lancers have 4 wide. Wouldn't be surprised to see them start passing it again. Daron this time though, the pitch to Cruz. He's met in the backfield.
Able to break
But
2
able
tackles.
to break a few tackles, get a few yards, but defenders are getting back there now, something that wasn't happening earlier in the game.
It doesn't look like the Blue Devils have been drinking all their water today. It looks like the second cramp in a matter of minutes.
That's number 55, I believe, James Nelson. Seemed to be cramping up, and I think they'll have him come off the field. Doesn't look like he wants to be out there right now. Looks a little painful.
He was the first one to try and pull Cruz down that he was able to get through.
All right, nobody in the backfield this time for Daron. A 2nd down and 8. Cruz comes into motion. They fake the handoff. Daron's looking for him, and he's got him, a one-handed grab.
Wow.
That is Brandon Dyer. And what a snag by Dyer. He gets the 1st down catch, but he is down, and he's being cramped, but he's being helped out by a Blue Devil. Guess who's helping him? Zanini. I think he's a doctor, too.
Zanini does everything.
He's done everything, and what a great sportsmanship he's showing trying to help out that player who was down.
I think he slept in a Holiday Inn last night. That's a joke
that
for the older
is.
crowd out there.
He's been beating up the Lancers tonight, stopping them on defense and scoring a touchdown and some big runs, but you got to respect him there, showing some great sportsmanship. So that's Jordan Zanini, the senior running back and safety for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, it looked like Sully had just overthrown him, but he was able to stick his left paw out there and just pull it down and really kind of kept him in stride. But great catch by the Lancers.
Don't see if he fell funny that way or just the way he was stretched out when he got tackled. But he seemed to be hurt right away. He got the trainers on him right now. But a great snag. Dyer, like you said, it looked like he was going to be just thrown ahead of him just a little too much. But he put that left paw out there and grabbed it and brought it right in. That's barehanded too, it looks.
Yeah, it looks like it. So it looks like good thing it was his left hand because his right hand looks like it's got a brace on it. So fantastic grab either way.
Well, we can hope it's just maybe a cramp or something small. He's in there for a lot of plays, so Dyer's a big factor here in the game. But maybe you'll take a seat and stretch it out and get back in there for your Lancers. 1st and 10, ball on the 37-yard line of the Blue Devils. 6:47 to go in the game. Daron hands it off. There's Cruz with his hands up. Stiff arm, a gain of about 7 yards.
All right, solid gain on 1st down.
Lancers.
That's what the Lancers need to do is especially on that 1st down, get some good yardage because that really opens up their playbook. A little different with the Blue Devils because they're just going to run. But here it gives Sully the chance that if we want to take a shot, we can take a shot.
Lancers do have 3 timeouts. They're down by 2 scores, and knowing what Salem can do with the ball, should be looking to rush here
Right,
to
you've got-
plays in and maybe try some no huddle soon. Throwing back to pass. He's looking for Van Avery. He's throwing it. Oh, my apologies. Not Van Avery back there. It was
Yep,
Van Avery.
yep.
I'm sorry about that.
Pass was incomplete on the play intended for Devin Van Avery.
Yeah, well covered. They had 2 Blue Devils just sitting there kind of sandwiching him on each side. So
So that does stop the clock. 3rd down and 3. Looked like that's where he was going the whole time, huh?
yeah, and they had Jackson Rayo up on the top in single coverage as well, but Zanini was shifting his way, so I think they had enough of him going long.
I
So
think Zanini had enough of Rayo, right?
Right.
So he's over there covering. You're right, Chris. Let's just come with a little bit of a tighter formation here on 3rd down and 3. Ball's handed off to Cruz. He's looking, makes one man miss, another man miss, breaks a tackle,
he was able to get
and
the
he
first down,
made
yeah.
that first
Wow.
down happen. And 1st down will stop the clock. Adrian Cruz, he was stuck in the backfield, broke the tackle, made a guy miss before he's taken down by number 17, Jacob Boudry.
Yeah, good single effort from Cruz there. It looked like he was wrapped up twice and able to spin his way through to a first down. So gives a little more life to Lancers.
1st down and 10 for the Lancers. Ball on the 26-yard line. Jerome back to pass, has a man. It's Dyer back in the game, and he's in for a touchdown. The Lancers.
Well,
Brandon Dyer re-enters the game and catches a 26-yard pass from Daron and brings the Lancers within 1 score.
yeah, great strike by Sully Daron there. Hit him right on target, and nothing heals an injury like a touchdown.
Well, the Lancers with a quick score, just what they needed. And they will try the extra point to make this a 6-point game. Owen Monahan on to try the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. Monahan, 3 for 3 on extra points. Something the Lancers were not fortunate to have earlier in the season. Having a kicker they can rely on for the extra points is going to prove big, as the score is now 27-21 Salem, a 6-point advantage for the Blue Devils with
Yeah,
5:20 to go.
They really haven't even taken the chance to kick extra points. They've just gone for 2, gone for 2, gone for 2. So good to see they're able to put some points on the board and keep it down to a 6-point game. And now it's all going to fall on the defense for the Lancers and how they match up against that running game from the Blue Devils.
Yeah, good to see the not only the success of the kickers, but the coaches finding the confidence in them again, right? And if they're or comfortable going for it. Like you said, they were going for 2 a lot, and we talked about maybe giving them some of the opportunities, so it was nice to see. And Monahan's out there. He's able to go 3 for 3 today.
Getting set to kick off is number 41, correction number 43, Owen Monahan.
Monahan's back out there for the kickoff, which may indicate they're trying something funky here,
Yeah, I'm going
Or
to guess
just-
the hands team is out there now.
or just trying to trick them. Who knows? Monahan checks the left and right, and it is a little onside kick, but goes right to a Blue Devil. Looked like number 18, Wyatt Goldman, was able to get that kick. And so the Blue Devils will start with the ball just on their side of the field at the 47-yard line. Was able to get a few good bounces out of that.
On the tackle for the
But
Lancers, number
Goldman
14,
in
Dylan
position.
Seaver. Ladies and gentlemen, if you drive a Jeep, there's a
Yeah, well, this is going to be
set of
the drive
keys
here.
in the concession
They're
stand.
going to,
Once
we know
again,
they're going to run it.
there's a lot
They know
of
they're going to run it.
keys
It's a
that
matter
belong
if you
to
can
each
stop it.
Jeep.
Who's going to run it, right?
Right, that's definitely a question.
Hand off to Zanini, looking for the edge again. Lancers are trying to fill it in. And breaks a tackle from Van Avery. He's trying to be chased from behind, but he does his best to stay in bounds. I think that was on purpose by Zanini before he's tackled by a Lancers He's able to get the first down, catching that left side edge once again.
Again, seemed like they had him wrapped up about 2, 3, 4 times, and he was just able to squirt out each time. So
a lot of credit to the Blue Devil blocking too. Once he gets out there, he's got a couple Lancers trying to get in there, but the blocking's solid. And they're sealing the edge and allowing him the opportunity to make that move.
yeah, they just can't seem to get full arms around him and pull him down.
Well, now's as good a time as any for a turnover for the Lancers. Boudry takes the front handoff, but he's able to still plow ahead for 3 or 4 yards. He's been doing that all game. Positive yards for the Blue Devils, 2nd down and 6.
On the run was number 17, Jacob Boudry.
Yeah, it feels like the Blue Devils run about 4 or 5 plays, but they run them well.
I think if the Blue Devils get a first down here again, the Lancers may start thinking about timeouts to stop that clock, give them an opportunity to get the ball back and score. Hand off to Salkovic, almost met in the backfield, makes a move, and a couple Lancers are still there to get him. That's Dyer into the tackle. After a big offensive possession for Dyer, he's back in there on defense.
Yeah, Adrian Cruz was almost back there for the handoff and sitting right there. He was able to get around him, but he was able to funnel them right into about 2 or 3 other Lancers that pulled them right down.
3rd down and 6 for Salem.
Big 3rd down here for the Blue Devils. This could be a position, Chris, where they might go for it twice.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's without question. So big play here if they can keep it close.
Handoff to the left, and pushing ahead close to the first down is A.J. Shikrala. And it will be a first down for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, that was a tough one there. Looked like they might have had him wrapped up, but again, able to push out and get the first down fairly easily.
Oh, clock goes down, under 3 minutes to go. You can imagine we'll see a few running plays, a few timeouts. And if the Lancers are to stop them, they're going to have to do it now. Boudry takes the handoff, and he's met right away in there on the tackle, Lucas Palma. And there's the whistle for the timeout by the Lancers, a gain of about 2 or 3 on that run.
Yeah, you knew if they kept it to a short game, then it was going to go right into timeout mode.
It's almost as if the Blue Devils use that first play as knowing they're only going to get a couple yards. That's all they really want. They want to just kind of kill the clock, right? So.
Yeah, the Blue Devils are ahead,
Yep.
And they've also got a strong kicker, right? So they don't necessarily need to go down and score. They just need to hold on to the ball and try to drag that clock down to nothing.
So 2:19 to go here in the game. Lancers down by 6. Looking to make some magic happen here. Could benefit from a turnover if the Blue Devils were willing to offer one. But if not, they're going to have to come up big on this stop, pick the right running back, meet him in the backfield, stop him on the edge.
Right, now Zanini has been pretty nice, but I don't think he's going to be that nice.
That would be the icing on the cake. Lancers looking for some of that first half magic on the defensive line. Hand off to Shikrala. He's met in the backfield by Palma. And there's their loss on the running play that the Lancers were hoping for. A loss of 2 back to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe even a loss of 3 should bring up a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, that's exactly what Londonderry needed keep them in the backfield, take another timeout, stop the clock. And so big play right here, and that will probably dictate what Salem does here on 4th down, assuming they can hold them.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, next week.
Be interested to see what the Blue Devils do on this play. A running play, obviously, they need to get the 11 yards. And the Lancers could stop the clock again if they don't make it. Passing play could be tricky, and they might have success with it, but if they don't, they stop the clock, and they give the Lancers an opportunity to get the ball back with a timeout in hand. I'm sure it's not what they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine they're going to stick with their bread and butter because, again, they don't need to score. They just want to keep the clock going and keep possession.
He's got Zanini out there with him and Shikrala. Handoff is no, it's a fake. He's wide off to the left is Mason. He's going to be close to that 1st down. And I think he might have it. A quarterback run by the Blue Devils. And it is a Blue Devil 1st down. And that should put this game to bed. The Lancers have 1 timeout with 2 minutes to go. What a play call by the Blue Devils.
Yeah, that's a tough one. He was pretty open around that end. There was nobody on that right side, and I don't think he even got hit until he was 9 yards down.
It was close for the Lancers, almost able to stop him there. Of course, it would give up still a 4th down and short, right? So unfortunate for the Lancers. The Blue Devils, after that 1st quarter, able to find some magic in the running game and keep the Lancers on their heels, not knowing where the ball's going to go. And they had the 3-headed monster back there and able to run it with Mason, who hasn't done that all game other than up the middle. You have to give credit where credit is due. The Salem coaching staff with an excellent call there on 3rd down. And that's going to help them seal the game.
Yeah, they just wear you down. That's what they do. They just keep running it until you're tired. The defense has been on the field for a long time, so you know they're tired.
2:01 to go in the game. 1st down and 10 for the Blue Devils. Mason hands it off. And into the end zone is Colin Sulkovitz.
The Salem touchdown scored by number 1, Colin Sulkovitz.
And that will make it a 2-score game.
Yeah, the Lancers try to one-arm tackle him, and you're not going to be able to bring him down that way. So
not for nothing, though, Chris. I might have just gone down if I were him. That looks like another 1st down, and the game's over at that point. Not that anything will happen, but it could happen if you give the ball back to the Lancers, right?
Yeah, I think he saw so much green, he was just, I'm going.
So on for another extra. Ball is snapped. There was a timeout called first. Very close timing on that one. The kicker heard the timeout being called by the coach, and the holder did not, I think, and it was snapped. I'd say that's the only flaw they've had this Blue Devil team is a little miscommunication on the snap here or on the extra points. But the Lancers will get the ball back. No timeouts, about 1:55 to go. They have some deep threats. They got Van Avery. They got Rayo. If they can find someone deep, make something happen, you could see some Lancer magic here.
Yeah, there's always hope.
Hope is a good thing. But it does look like a tough hill to climb for the Lancers. Last week, having their way with that central defense and getting 46 points and really mixing it up and finding success. The Blue Devils, I think, saw that tape, able to stop the Lancers from some of the things they were successful with, those short passes.
Yeah, the short passes really today, that little dump over the line really has not worked out for them. Blue Devils have been all over it. But they did find some success in the long ball. Court wait until the second half.
Salem lines up to go for 2 this time. The handoff back to Salkovich. He gets into the 2-point conversion score, and they did that to make it a 14-point game. I'm guessing that's why they called the timeout. They saw the scoreboard and wanted to make a change to that.
So now, yeah, the Lancers are going to look to, assuming they kick it off long, for a good run back, right? That's probably their biggest chance at the moment. But we'll see. We'll see if they do, in fact, kick it long. The kicker has been a bit of a weapon for them tonight, so I'd be surprised if they do anything different.
Rayo able to get the return on the last kickoff, almost break it free before being tackled from behind. He had a bit of an opening there, but he was taken down. And Lancers still able to score in that last possession, although it ate up a bit of clock. So you're going to see Rayo back there with Murphy once again.
So sitting here, what would probably be the final kick from the Blue Devils.
Sure hope so.
I would sure hope so as well.
Lancers could use another one, though.
Absolutely.
Lancers have been known in the past for some trickery on a return. Haven't seen it yet too much this year.
Well,
Rayo gets it.
Time.
He's looking for some speed. He's got some speed. He's looking to break a tackler. Oh, he's hit hard at the 30-yard line. And so the Lancers, about 6 seconds come off the clock on that kick, have 1:49 to score twice, no timeouts, 70 yards from the end zone. Couple big plays have happened for the Lancers today, and missed maybe 1 or 2 other ones.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see Jackson Rayo come off to the sideline. Obviously been a bright spot for them today.
Did take a big hit on that. Wonder if they thought he might be shooken up. Give him a break there. But it's surprising. Van Avery is out there wide to the left. Daron has Cruz in the backfield. Daron looking for the pass, looking, pumping. Dumps it off to Cruz. He's trying to find some space. He finds it across the 50 and into the Blue Devil territory. And a big 23, 24-yard gain for the Lancers. Will stop the clock on the first down. Lancers come sprinting up to the line of scrimmage. Daron under center, and he spikes it this time.
Yeah, the Lancers able to send a lot of people deep. Obviously, Blue Devils expecting a long ball, and they brought Cruz in underneath and allow him to catch it in stride and run for a good distance. So good way to start that drive. Jackson Rayo does check in now. So it must have been all right after that kickoff.
Nice to see a big gain on that play, at 25 yards, and Cruz making some good decisions. He could have gone out of bounds earlier to stop the clock, but I think he knows as a senior, stops on the first down anyway, so get as much as you can and rush the team up there to spike the ball. Second down and 10 for the Lancers. Fakes the handoff to Cruz, pump fake. Daron looking, he's got a man open. He's at the 20, and that pass is complete to number 10, Owen Crafts. And he's inside the red zone down to the 18-yard line. Crafts wide open.
Wide open.
And then a defender fell down. Almost looked like he fell down, got up quick. Daron again takes it under center and spikes it. And now in just 31 seconds, the Lancers have gone from their own 30-yard line, and they're inside the 20 of the Blue Devils with 1:24 to go in the game.
Davis Megarian coming off with a bit of a limp, so obviously that is not something you like to see.
Megarian, a scoring threat for the Lancers. Big target, too. Megarian coming in at 6'4", so that size is nice to have inside the red zone.
Yeah, and he's a nice kid, too. I've met him a couple times. He's a very nice kid. Held the door open for me the other day.
Raised well. Daron puts a man in motion. Pressure from the Blue Devils. He's got Dyer out there on the right. He's going to find a gain of about 7 to 8 yards. And there's Brandon Dyer.
Yeah,
And
they
that's-
tried a similar thing. Everybody push for more of a long ball and then sneak Dyer out off to the right to try and catch and run. And luckily he did the right play and stepped out of bounds.
Like to see the decision by Daron on both of those opportunities, the one to Cruz and then on Dyer. Not feeling the pressure to throw it into the end zone right now, force a turnover. Instead, he's taking what you got, get the guy out of bounds, and you're still surviving the game. Daron looking back, looking for a man in the end zone, and up for grabs.
He got nope.
And
Nope.
out of bounds. That pass was intended for Jackson Rayo. Got his hand on it, but he's out of bounds, and now that's a 4th down and 5 for the Lancers. Need the first down at the 10, maybe 9-yard line.
Yeah, I could see a similar one where they have somebody sweeping underneath just to make sure that they get that first down. But obviously important play here just to keep hope alive.
Lancers need this play to continue the game.
We've got Cruz back in the eye, but I'd be surprised if they hand it off to him.
Rayo to the right, Van Avery to the left. Daron looking across the middle. He has a man. It's Crafts, and well defended by the Blue Devils. That was number 8, I believe, Jack Marconi, in to defend the pass. Tough one to bring in right there. Can't blame Crafts for that. Good effort by the Lancers there on that final drive, Chris. Looked like they could have maybe put some magic together.
Yeah, no, some great completions by Daron to people that were, for the most part, pretty wide open. So, but as soon as they got within the red zone, then the Blue Devil defense really stiffened up, really kind of closed off some of those angles, and were able to knock 2 balls away, one in the end zone and one right around the 10-yard line.
So the Blue Devils will take a couple knees here to close out this game. And now the Salem Blue Devils will move up in the standings here. They will have a 3-3 record in Division I. Lancers will fall to 2 and 4. The Lancers will play next week here at home, part of a 3-game homestand for the Lancers as they welcome in the Bedford Bulldogs, a perennial favorite and a team that has been handling all the competition this year.
Yeah, I think almost all. I think they're 6-0, at least before tonight. They were 6-0 with all of their victories, at least 2 digits. So that's going to be a tough one, especially after this loss here. With the Lancer Nation, we'll have to try and kind of reassemble, regroup, and try to figure out a way to attack that vaunted Bedford Bulldog team.
Well, the Londonderry Lancers, unable to pull this one off tonight, fall victim to the Salem Blue Devils 35-21, puts an end to their 2-game winning streak.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the game. The final score, your Londonderry Lancers 21.
Once again, the Lancers will play next week at home against the Bedford Bulldogs. That game is at 7 o'clock. For Chris Von Fischel, I am Scott Loans. Have a great evening, everyone.